How long does a court order take to process?
What is a court order? A court order records an official judgment or way forward
as agreed by a judge or the parties.
A court order can either be final or interim.
What's in the order depends on the case presented to the judge, and what evidence is necessary for just determination of a particular case. How long does a court order take to process?
The time that it takes to secure a final court order depends entirely on the case.
It also depends on how many assessments are required, and what evidence is needed to enable the judge to make a final decision.
In family law, some orders can be made very quickly where there's considered to be an imminent risk of harm, for example, an emergency non-molestation order, or an emergency child protection order. Others, such as child arrangement orders, can sometimes take between 6 and 12 months for a final order to be made.
What are the different types of court orders to protect children from an unsafe environment? The different types of court orders that can be granted to protect children that have been living in an unsafe environment can include:
non-molestation order, an order to prevent a partner or ex-partner from being violent or threatening violence against someone and their child. This is an order that will usually last between 6 and 12 months.
There are occasions when it can be made for longer, and applications for extensions to the length of the order can be made.
Occupation order,
an order where the court decides who's able to live in the home and prevent another person from the whole or a designated part of the home.
This can be in place for around 3 to 6 months, and it's anticipated that the parties won't require this order for a longer period, as other living arrangements will be in place following the initial order being made.
Prohibited steps order, an order that prevents someone with parental responsibility from being able to carry out some of their responsibilities.
This can include preventing someone from taking a child out of school, changing a child's name, or taking a child out of the country.
Child arrangement order,
an order that regulates the time each parent or carer or other person with parental responsibility
can spend with a child. This type of order will last until the child turns 16.
Emergency protection order, an order that is used in very serious circumstances to protect a child that is considered to be in imminent danger of suffering significant harm.
This order is for use in the short term, so can only be granted for a maximum of 8 days.
Care order, an interim care order will often follow an emergency protection order, but more often it's applied for in its own right. The local authority has to apply to the court to satisfy the judge as to the necessity of the order. If this order is made, the local authority will share parental responsibility with the parents, and there'll be a care plan approved by the judge as to the arrangements for any child of the family. To reach a final decision, the proceedings can take around 26 weeks, or in some cases, sometimes longer. Supervision order, an interim supervision order is an order for which the local authority has to satisfy the court that there is a need for such an order. There'll be a care plan in place, confirming the arrangements for the child of the family. As with care proceedings, to reach a final decision, the proceedings can take around 26 weeks, sometimes longer if sanctioned by the family court judge.
What is considered an unsafe environment for a child?
Any living situation that's failing to meet a child's basic needs is one that may be considered to be unsafe.
There are 4 main types of neglect that can be considered if there is an application to the court concerning the safety and well-being of any children.
Physical, where basic needs like food, clothing, and shelter are not met.
Educational, where a child is not given an education.
Emotional, where a child doesn't get the stimulation and care they need.
Medical, where a child is not given access to proper health and medical care.
National Legal Services team of friendly, experienced local solicitors can help you throughout the court order process.
Contact us to discuss your situation in confidence.